Well, we're here for another Sunday morning, the last Sunday in April, and we're focused on the story of Elisha and his servant. And we'll be having service in just a little while, but the weather is poor today, and some of you may not necessarily feel like you can come out to our drive-in service today. And I wanted to just give you the basic rundown, just a quick idea of the message today. It's found in 2 Kings chapter 5. And verse number 20 and through 27. Just a quick reminder, again, this is Elisha, who has just healed the Syrian general named Naaman. And Naaman wanted to give a gift, but Elisha said, no, you just go back and worship God. But Gehazi has in his mind, and I don't know if it was partly because he was just greedy, that's probably part of it, but then also because he was the one that had brought the message to tell Naaman how to be healed. But anyway, he gets in his mind, well, my master maybe wouldn't take any gift, but I will. So he runs after Naaman, and he tells him this story, concocts a story. There's two young men from the school of the prophets, the sons of the prophets, and could you just spare 2 changes of garment and a talent of silver? And Naaman says, well, I'll tell you what, you can even have 2 talents. 1 for each of them, I suppose, is what he's thinking, and 2 changes of garment. And Naaman has his servants go back and take the things for Gehazi. And when he gets back, Elisha said unto him, verse 25, Whence comest thou, Gehazi? And he said, Thy servant went no whither, or I didn't go anywhere. And he said unto him, Went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servants and maidservants? Notice the curse that he gives then, or the judgment on him. The leprosy, therefore, of Naaman shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, as white as snow. The curious thing here, Elijah, of course, was Elisha's mentor. And Elisha had a wonderful homegoing, a good ministry. Elisha then had a wonderful ministry, but then it never got past any further. And I found that curious and thought about that this week as I was listening to a message from Roland Mitchell on the online IHC, the IH convention there. And it stirred my mind to think, well, Elisha was Elijah's servant. Gehazi was Elisha's servant, but Gehazi never followed in Elisha's footsteps in the same way. And right here is the answer, or at least part of the answer, for that story. You know, often that is a sort of a test as to whether our life's work has been worthwhile. Do our children, do those following behind us, do they want to follow in our footsteps? And you see that a number of times in Scripture. We could have the stories of Joshua with Moses. You could go even to a woman, it'd be Ruth with Naomi. She followed after him. Of course, that was a great reward for her, but she became the either grandmother or great-grandmother, I believe, of King David. And then David himself having Solomon to take his throne. In the New Testament, you have Jesus with his disciples, and then even Paul with Timothy, his son in the faith, and then you have Barnabas taking on John Mark, his nephew, and training him till finally even Paul would say, you bring him, he's profitable to me for the ministry. But Elisha, right here, he had done that for Elijah, but he never was able to transfer that the next generation. But Gehazi had chosen the wrong blessing. He had chosen this world's goods. And so just in a quick summary of the message that I'm going to share in just a little bit, I wanted to give it to you, those of you that maybe are not able to be at the service today. First of all, in verse 27, you see a sort of a double curse. Actually, that idea of double is our theme today. And you see the double curse there, where Naaman's leprosy was kind of conveyed onto Gehazi for his greed and dishonesty and deception. You notice there it says, he went out from Elisha's presence, a leper as white as snow. That sounds like it's already full-blown. Not just the beginning stages, but it's full-blown. A leper as white as snow. There's all sorts of things that go along with that. It was sort of their cancer, the cancer of their day, you might say. And this was a terrible thing, probably a death sentence for Gehazi. And then, not only that, but it wasn't just for him. Yeah, it was bad enough just that it was full-blown, but it also was going to be conveyed not just to him, but unto thy seed forever. And so there was sort of a double curse there. Let me just mention to you, we need to be so careful when we begin to make choices There are very serious consequences, even for our family, not just for us, but for our family, and we must be careful. There was a double curse. Not only that, but you see the reason why that double craving comes through in verse 23. There was a double curse, but there was a double craving that was the reason for that. And he was asking here for 2 changes of garments. He actually only asked for 1 talent of silver, but he got 2. And so you can kind of think of the double there. He chose this world's goods. He was saying, hey, could I have 2 of those? But it was the wrong things. He's craving those things that will not last, those things that will not satisfy. And so many today, it seems that people are choosing Gehazi's greed instead of Elisha's godliness. And God help us to really crave the right things, to long for more of God, which is what we get back to in 2 Kings chapter 2 and verse number 9. Now we're getting to Elisha. What did Elisha crave? He's the servant at that time, back when Elijah's just ready to leave this earth by a chariot of fire. You can read more about that in this chapter. But in chapter 2, verse 9, Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And he said, that's Elijah said, thou hast asked a hard thing. There may be several reasons for that. One may be just simply that it wasn't his to give, or it may also even simply been that Elijah was so close to God, it was hard to even think of a double portion of that. But what a wonderful thing, and I have a feeling that Elijah may have just kind of smiled whenever he heard what Elisha was asking for. I want a double portion. I want more of God. And oh, that God would help that to be our prayer today. Oh, I don't want all the things of this world. I'm not a Gehazi. I don't want to be craving those things of this world. I just want to crave more of God. I want to be what He wants me to be. And so today, could you just take that claim that Elisha had, the double claim? Lord, I want more of You. I want a double portion. What an example to us. What are you craving today? What are you claiming? Are you pleading for double of God? Sometimes we almost get the idea that, oh, if I could even have half of what our forefathers had. Oh, no, let's not stop there. Let's say, Lord, give us double. Not just half of the glory they had, but double that glory. And so today, begin meditating on that and thinking on that. And may God help each one of us to really claim what matters, the double portion of God's blessing. Well, God bless you this week. We'll try to have a service for this evening as well for you to watch, or a message at least. But for today, that gives you a quick little summary of our passage and our message for this morning. God bless you today.